We continue now at the top of Daf Ches Amud Aleph from Masechah Shabbos. This is Shabbos, Daf 8a. The Gemara just finished off that Rav Chisda said, "No, it's kana b'Rishus Hayachid. If you have a long reed sticking up in Rishus Hayachid, it can land on top of it in your chayiv, and apparently you don't need a makam daled al daled." And the Gemara thought that that's a machlokus between Rebbe and the Rabbanon, and it sounds like he was going like Rebbe, that again you don't need a makam daled al daled. Rebbe also said if you throw it on top of a ziz kol shu your chayiv. So Amar Abaya says, "B'Rishus Hayachid dekuli amalo pligi." In Rishus Hayachid, nobody would argue. Kid Rav Chisda, they would all agree with Rav Chisda. Actually, we'll see Rashi whether they would all agree or they would all disagree. But whatever the case, Elo hacha. But over here in the machlokas between Rebbe and the Rabbanon, be'ilon ha'omed b'Rishus Hayachid, we're talking about a very specific case of a tree which is in Rishus Hayachid. V'nofo notel Rishus Harabim, and its branches extend into the Rishus Harabim. V'zarak v'nacha nofo, and he throws the item and it lands on the branches. The Rebbe Savar Amrinan Shadi Nofo Basari Karo. Rebbe holds that we say that the branches follow the main part of the tree. Rabbanan Savri Lo Amrinan Shadi Nofo Basari Karo. And the Rabbanan say that we do not say that the branches follow after the main part of the tree. So Rashi here explains what the Gemara means, that the Machlokas Rebbe and the Rabbanan has to do with Shadi Nofo Basari Karo and has nothing to do with Rav Chisda. So let's see Rashi. It says, V'nofo notel Rishus Harabim v'zorak, mitchilas dalid l'sof dalid v'nocha nofo. So Rashi in this explanation says, the case is you're throwing in a Rishus Harabim, and you're throwing 4 amos in the Rishus Harabim, and again, the branches are extending to Rishus Harabim. So Shadi Nofo, dechashiv agav ikaro d'isbei dalid. According to this explanation in Rashi, the situation here is where your issue is whether or not the branch is considered to have dalid al dalid, and therefore we say if you hold Shadi Nofo Basari Karo, means just like the trunk of the tree has dalid al dalid, so to the branches. Rav Chisda delo karebi udelo karabanan. Now, according to this explanation, Rav Chisda does not agree with Rebbe or the Rabbanan. In other words, according to Rav Chisda, you don't need makam dalid al dalid at all. And according to Rebbe and the Rabbanan, you do need dalid al dalid. There's just a shaila, do we say Shadi Nofo Basari Karo to make it a dalid al dalid? That's the first explanation of Rashi. Lishna achrina Amar Abaya b'der Rav Chisda dehave b'Rishus Hayachid afilu Rabbanan modu. So Rav Chisda's case is where you're already in Rishus Hayachid. Everybody would agree in that case you do not need dalid al dalid. According to this explanation, everyone agrees with Rav Chisda that in an actual Rishus Hayachid you don't need dalid al dalid. V'chi pligi Rabbanan. When did the Rabbanan say that you're not chayiv? B'shadi nofo basar ikaro hu depligi. It was specifically in a case of shadi nofo basar ikaro. So according to that, everyone agrees that in Rav Chisda's case, certainly we would say you don't need dalid al dalid. And the shaila just was that's only where there's a bona fide Rishus Hayachid. But over here, where it's extending from the branches extending from the Rishus Hayachid into the Rishus Harabim, now there's a question: do we say shadi nofo basar ikaro, that we say it's really as if it's in Rishus Hayachid, you don't need dalid al dalid, or do we say that you're in Rishus Harabim in this situation, so in this case you may actually need dalid al dalid? So that's two versions in Rashi, exactly what it means Shadi Nofo Basari Karo. Are we looking at the dalid al dalid, or are we looking at whether you're in Rishus Hayachid or a Rishus Harabim? Gemara now continues at the 2 dots. Amar Abaya says, Zorak Kiveres l'Rishus Harabim. Person throws a basket into Rishus Harabim. Gevoa Yud, it is 10 high, ve'ena rach vavav, but it is not 6 wide. Now Rashi explains we're talking about a circular basket, so we're actually talking about 6 wide in diameter. So chayiv, in that case, you're chayiv. It's a very simple case. You're throwing a regular, normal object into Rishus Harabim. Rach vavav pater. However, this is the chiddush. If it is 6 wide in diameter, then you are pater, and Rashi explains why. Rach vavav pater dahave rishus la'atzma. That becomes its own rishus because 6 wide in diameter is the same as 4 by 4. Va'anon mi mishkan gamrina. We learn out from the Mishkan. Shahayu zarken machtein b'malachtan zelazeh. V'lo hayu zarken rishuyos. So they didn't throw rishuyos. And once it's already 6 wide in diameter, it's considered its own rishus, and that's not considered moving something, transferring something on Shabbos. Now, Rashi asks the question, if you're going to ask that even if it wasn't 10 high, it's its own rishus, Shma Carmelis, because it's called the Carmelis. Hahi lav mi doraisa have rishus. That's not a doraisa rishus. Elam mi dorabanan. It's only a rishus mi dorabanan. V'lo lahakel al divrei Torah ba kagon zusha yifter michadz. Nobody would say that a Carmelis is a rishus in order to be lenient on you. So we're not going to say that. So in any case, According to Abaye, you're not chayiv if you throw reshus, and therefore rachva vav is pater. Now Rava says afilo eino rachva vav, even if it's not 6 wide, pater is still pater if it's 10 high. Why? My time was the reason. Because the top of the basket, those pieces of whatever the material are, those reeds, it's not going to come down. Those are going to stick up above 10 tvachim, so it's never going to really land fully. The object is not going to fully land in the Rishus Harabim, which would be below 10 tvachim. Kaf al piha. Now what if you turned it upside down? So then, in that case, it changes a little bit. Shiva umashu chayiv. So then, if it's 7 and a little bit in terms of height, then you're chayiv. But shiva umechza pater. But once it reaches 7.5, you would already be pater. So the idea here is that if it's more than 7 and a little bit, so then we apply a principle of lavud. Lavud only applies to the walls, which is why lavud would only apply when it's turned upside down. You turn the basket upside down, then the walls essentially become lavud. They're within 3 tvachim of the ground, so we'd view it as if it touched the ground even when it's within 3 tvachim of the ground. Now, if it's 7.5, then when it hits within 3 tvachim of the ground, it's still sticking up above 10, and you don't have it actually landing in the Rishus Harabim because you have part of it above. Rav Ashi says afilu shiva umechza chayiv. Even if it were 7.5, you'd be chayiv, because we don't say lavid. My time, what's the reason that we don't say lavid? Mechitzos l'sochan asuyos, because these are not walls that are made for anything other than keeping something in the basket right side up. We would not treat this like a case of structure where we would apply the rules of lavid. Gemara now continues at the 2 dots. A new chiddush. Amar Ula says Amud Tisha b'Rishus Harabim. If you have a pillar that is 9 tvachim high in Rishus Harabim, the Ravim mechasvin olav, and the people use it to take stuff off their shoulders and put it on the pillar. The idea here is that 9 tvachim high is a perfect height for that. V'zarak v'nach al gabav. So then you would throw something, let's say, on top of that pillar. Chayiv, he is chayiv. What's the reason? My time. What's the reason? Pachas mishlosha midras darsi le'ram. So first of all, the Gemara goes through the rules. Something that's less than 3 high, that's already stepped over by the Ravim. It's part of the ground. It is completely part of the Rishus Harabim. Mishlosha v'yatisha. Now, if it's something that is from 3 until 9, lo midras darsi le, they don't step on it. V'lo ksuvi mikasvi, they don't use it either. So that's why in that particular case you're not chayiv. Tisha, but when it's 9 high, vadi mechasvini lave, certainly people put stuff on there and it's used, and therefore it's like a rishus which you're chayiv if you transfer it on. Let's take a look at Rashi to see how he explains here. Rashi says, Tisha dafka nakat techazi l'chsufe deinu logav namach. We're talking specifically 9. It's not too high and not too low. V'zarg m'tchilas dal l'sof dal. The case is you're throwing 4 amos in Rishus Harabim. V'chas v'yalav v'kevan etzarech l'ram Rishus Harabim. Who? It's part of the Rishus Harabim. Bein rachav bein katzer. It doesn't matter how wide or how narrow it is. So that's the reason why at 9 we would say that you're chayiv in that case. However, in the other cases where it is, let's say, between 3 and 9, so then we've already had these principles before. Either it has the halacha of a karmelis, or it would have the halacha of a makom p'tur, depending on how wide it is, whether it's 4x4 or not. If it's 4x4, it's a karmelis. If it's less than 4x4, it's a makom p'tur. The chiddush over here really is that at exactly 9 tvachim high, we don't apply this rule. We don't say that it's a karmelis or a makom p'tur. That's why Rashi says it doesn't matter how narrow or wide it is. Instead, we say that it actually just has the status of Rishus Harabim because it's used by the Rishus Harabim. So that's the idea here. V'zarak v'nach al gabav chayiv. It's considered part of the Rishus Harabim. You're chayiv for transferring 4 amos in the Rishus Harabim. So that's the halacha by a pillar. Now the Gemara says, so again, just tisha vade mechas v'nelave. Certainly, when it comes to something that's 9, people use it to take things off their shoulders. So Amar le Abai Rav Yosef guma mai. So Abai said to Rav Yosef, okay, would we apply the same rule in reverse by a pit? We should take a look at Rashi to see how he explains. There are different explanations, but Rashi says guma amuka tes. We're talking about a guma exactly 10 deep. It's a pit exactly 10 deep. Mai gabe rishus hayachid da'asara tanya la'el omka kagova dekatani charitz amak yud v'rachav da'al rishus hayachid. So we said that if you have a ditch that's 10 deep and 4 wide, rishus hayachid hachamai. What's Allah here? I'aminan manchi be b'nei rishus haram chafatzim shaviyadam ad dehadri v'asu derech sham v'shakli le v'nimtza shetzrichim lo rabim hilkach rishus haramu. Maybe when it's exactly 9, we would actually say that it's not going to be anything other than part of the Rishus Harabim. So would we apply the same principle? That's how Rashi understands that we're talking specifically about a 9 tvachim deep pit, that it should be considered part of the Rishus Harabim. So the Gemara says, Amar Lei is Abai to Rav Yosef, so Amar Lei, so now Rav Yosef says back to Abai, V'chein beguma. The same principle would be true by a guma, it would be part of the Rishus Harabim. Rava Amar Rava says beguma lo. Certainly by guma we would not say that. My time, what's the reason? Tashmish al yedei adachak lo shmei tashmish, because that's already only usable al yedei adachak. It's forced. People don't really want to use a pit that's 9 tvachim deep to put things in, so that's not considered tashmish. Would not be part of the Rishus Harabim. Eisvei Rav Ada bar Masna l'Rava. Rav Ada bar Masna asked Rava the following question: Haisa kupaso munachas b'Rishus Harabim. Somebody has a basket in Rishus Harabim. Gavo asar v'rach v'dal. If it's 10 high and 4 wide, ein metalton lo mitocho l'Rishus Harabim v'lo m'Rishus Harabim l'tocha. You can't transfer from it to Rishus Harabim or from Rishus Harabim to it. Pachas mikein metalton. Less than that you could. V'chein beguma, and the same is true by a pit. So the Gemara says, "My lav aseifa." Isn't this going on the seifa? We'll see Rashi exactly how it explains, but isn't this a proof to our question about a guma that's 9 tvachim? And the Gemara says, "Lo areisha." It's going on the reisha. It's not talking about a guma that's 9 tvachim. It's actually talking about a guma which is 10 tvachim. Again, because the brisa which he's asking from has 2 cases. First, you have a kupa that's gavoa asar v'rach v'dalid. We'll see in Rashi exactly, but it's 10 and 4. It seems to have the dimensions of a Rishus HaYachid. And then we had a case right after that, which was pachos mikan metaltlin, less than that. So the question was, in the guma case, are we referring to v'chein beguma on the less than that case, or on the case where it's 10 and 4? Let's see Rashi just to fully explain what the case is. Rashi says as follows. Ein metaltlin davar Rishus HaYachid latzma. So first of all, the basket, if it's big enough, 10 and 4, then it's a Rishus HaYachid. You can't transfer from the Rishus HaYachid to Rishus Harabim. Pachos mikan, says Rashi, o begova o berochav metalton. If it's less either in height or in width, now you're allowed to transfer. Now that's a little difficult. Apparently he's considering it to be a makam p'tur, or no worse than a makam p'tur. So Rashi asks, "V'im tomar pachas miyud v'rach v'dal." 1 second, the basket is less than 10 high, but it's 4 wide. Carmelisi, that should be a carmelis. Why is that mutter? No problem at all. That should be somewhat of a problem. He says, "Lo gazer rabbanon levatuli mitoras kalim hoalu klihu." Once it has a shem kli, so the shem kli goes against karmelis. The rabbanon are not going to come along and turn a kli into a karmelis. If it's doraisa dimensions of Rishus HaYachid, it's Rishus HaYachid, fine. But if it's just a derabbanon rishus, but it has a shem kli, we're not going to count it a karmelis. Now the Gemara then said, "My lav hai v'chein as seifa namikoi." Isn't the v'chein going on the seifa also? To pachos mikan metaltel lechatchila. If you're going to apply the v'chein beguma to the seifa, it's going to come out that a guma that is less than 10 you can be metaltel. Alma Rishus Harabim chashiv lei. You see that at that point it's considered Rishus Harabim. It's all part of the Rishus Harabim. V'ukma ba'amuk tes, and we'll say that we're talking about exactly 9. The mishtamshin boksas, which has some type of tashmish. That's going to be the case where it is a Rishus Harabim, so there's no problem. The Gemara says, "Lo areisha agova yud v'rach v'dal dahav Rishus HaYachid katani v'chein beguma." All we were saying was a simple halacha that if it's 10 deep and 4 wide, it's Rishus HaYachid, which is certainly true. We weren't addressing at all a guma which was less than 10 tvachim deep. And then just one more word here, Eisvei, they're going to ask another question. This is another question going on the discussion that we're having over here in terms of a guma, in terms of an amud, and we will see this question played out on Daf Ches Amud Beis in the next video.